Hey there my peeps, so if you guys saw my prediction for SummerSlam yesterday, I went ahead and said that I think Finn Balor is actually going to go ahead and become the new Universal Champion, or the first Universal Champion against Seth Rollins. And I said I'd explain it in the video, so here's the video. And instead of going ahead and explaining to you how I think or why I think Finn's going to win this, in the usual traditional way, I decided why not make a top 5 out of it. I know these top 5s, top 10s, mainly top 10s are everywhere nowadays, like top 10 reasons why I should shave your ass hair, 10 shocking things you didn't know about Brock Lesnar or something like that. But I thought it'd be interesting to switch things up, and I pretty much have exactly 5 reasons as to why I think Finn's walking out the champ this Sunday at SummerSlam. So anyways, let's get started with reason number 1, and that is, they're very behind the guy. They're obviously behind him. I mean, first off, he was the longest reigning NXT champion down in NXT. He was pretty much the face of NXT, beating up all the other top stars. I mean, even Samoa Joe, the guy that ended up taking the title from him, had to lose to Finn Balor like twice before he actually won the championship. And then when he got drafted, he was a very early draft pick. He was drafted number 3 to Raw, right behind Seth Rollins and the women's champion at the time, Charlotte. He was drafted before Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was draft pick number 4 for Raw, while Finn Balor was draft pick number 3. And out of all the NXT superstars that got drafted, he was number 1. And then when he goes to Raw, his first night there, he goes ahead and wins a fatal 4-way match against Cesaro, Rusev, and Kevin Owens to move on to face off against Roman Reigns in the number 1 contendership match, where he beat Roman Reigns, the former 3-time world champion, to go ahead and move on to main event pretty much, or challenge for the Raw Universal Championship, Raw's most important championship after SummerSlam. So, like, you don't get that kind of push if they're not really behind you. So they're obviously really behind Finn, and when they're behind somebody, like, you know, like they were with Roman Reigns, they really push you. And to me, Finn Balor might be like their new Jeff Hardy. I think they might see it that way. Like, he can sell a lot of merchandise. They see a lot of potential with that. Reason number 2, the new era. So, for a while now, they've been talking about how, hey, this is a new era. We've got new this, new that. The draft is going to split up the rosters. And we saw some unpredictable challengers pop up. Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. And now both brands are going to have separate titles. Also, SmackDown is now live. Finn Balor appears out of nowhere, and now he's in Raw's main event of SummerSlam. But with the new era, you know, you've got new superstars, you've got new challengers, but you also need new champions. And Finn Balor can be just that. Because let's face it, who really thinks Dolph Ziggler is going to be that new champion? And on top of that, he's already been champion in the past. But this is something completely new here if Finn Balor wins the title. But if Seth Rollins wins the title, does it really feel like a new era? I mean, Seth Rollins, we've got Stephanie McMahon in charge of Raw, Seth Rollins as the champion. That kind of feels like the old era. That kind of feels like 2004 or 2005 when Seth Rollins was the champion and the Authority was backing him up. Would kind of feel the same. While on the other hand, Finn Balor being the champion as the face of Raw, now that would feel like a new era. Now, moving on to reason number 3. Finn Balor as the champion brings up a lot more possibilities over Seth Rollins as champion. When it comes to challengers, when it comes to storylines, Finn as champion opens up a lot more of those than Seth as the champion. Think about all the ways they could go with Finn Balor as the Universal Champion as opposed to Seth Rollins. You could have Rusev finally challenging for the main championship, for the Universal title, because there's a face champion. While if Seth Rollins is a champion, you're not going to see Rusev challenge Seth Rollins one-on-one for the WWE Universal Championship. It's just not going to happen because it's heel versus heel. Also, on top of that, you could see Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns for the title. Yeah, we saw it on Raw, but it's a lot more fresh than Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, which we've seen so many times in the past. Balor as a champion could also give Kevin Owens an opportunity to challenge for the title, so that way you have Kevin Owens challenging for the championship against Finn Balor on Raw, or not on Raw, but on a Raw pay-per-view, and Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. There's just a lot more possibilities with Finn rather than Seth Rollins. With Seth Rollins, you know, we're guaranteed to see pretty much Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns once again for the title, which we've seen so many times before. Not just for the title, but they just, in general, they faced off a lot. And with Seth Rollins as the champion, the chances of guys like Rusev and Kevin Owens getting their first one-on-one title opportunity are very slim. And that's just when it comes to challengers. When it comes to storylines, you've also got a big storyline with Finn Balor, where you could go ahead and tease him aligning himself with the club once again, with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. At SummerSlam, there's an opportunity there for Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows to win the tag team titles, and Finn Balor to become the new Universal Champion. That would mean that the club holds all the titles, except for the United States Championship. So, they could go ahead and tease that they're going to align themselves with each other. Maybe they do actually go through with that, and maybe Finn turns heel, although I don't think that's going to happen. But if they do, that's just another brand new storyline which could be really good, and I know a bunch of fans actually want to see that happen. They want to see Finn Balor turn heel at SummerSlam and have the club help him out, and they pretty much dominate Raw. Reason number 4, if Finn goes ahead and wins the title, he's pretty much an instant main eventer on Raw. He's a champion right off the bat. He has one of the strongest debuts in a very long time. I mean, his debut night, Fatal 4-Way win, of course, like I said, beats Roman Reigns, goes ahead, main events the Raw portion of SummerSlam, and then wins the title. That's big. And right off the bat, like, even if he loses the title, like, a week after or something like that, on his resume, or, you know, he's always going to be referred to as a former world champion or universal champion in this case. Raw, when the draft took place, SmackDown had more main event guys on their side, while Raw pretty much only had Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. And a lot of people, myself included, were talking about, hey, Raw is going to have to, you know, build up some new main event stars. They're going to have to take some of their mid-cards and build them up, you know, have them win some matches, some feuds, to get them up to the main side, or the main event side, and move them up. And they've got a great opportunity here with Finn Balor. He's in the championship match. You make him win the championship, he's an instant main eventer. And now Raw, instead of just having Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar as their 3 main event stars, they've got Finn Balor in there. So now on to the final reason as to why Seth Rollins is not walking out the champion this Sunday, and Finn Balor is going to become the new Universal Champion. And this is the biggest reason, this is the most important reason, this is what made me switch from saying Seth Rollins is going to win at SummerSlam to Finn Balor's going to win. And that's because it's not just going to be Seth Rollins versus the normal Finn Balor, it's going to be the Demon Finn. And for those of you who didn't watch NXT, there is actually a difference, because Demon Finn was actually undefeated in NXT for a while, for over a year. He started off the Demon Finn persona on NXT in 2014, December 2014. And he was undefeated until June against Samoa Joe, and this June 2016. So he was undefeated for a while. He'd pull off the Demon Finn on special occasions, and when he'd pull it off, he'd always win, until, like I said, just recently against Samoa Joe in a steel cage match for the NXT Championship. That was the first time Demon Finn got beat in NXT. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the Demon Finn persona is really protected. It's more protected than the normal Finn persona. The way I see it, or the way I could explain it to maybe people that didn't watch NXT, is think about The Undertaker in the normal match at any pay-per-view compared to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, at least until before Brock went ahead and broke the streak. The Undertaker facing off against Randy at any pay-per-view but WrestleMania, Randy could beat him, and Randy has beaten him in other pay-per-views. Well, at WrestleMania, it's a completely different story, and The Undertaker just dominates. He can take a bunch of finishers, he can kick out a bunch of times, and at the end, he wins, except against Brock. So, with them debuting this persona on the main roster, his first pay-per-view there, he has to win. If he goes ahead and loses as the Demon Finn, his first appearance as the Demon Finn in the match, then who's really going to take it seriously? Who's going to be like, but he's pulling off the Demon Finn this time, so he's going to win. when he goes ahead and loses his first time as the Demon Finn on the main roster. So for people to actually take this persona, seriously, and actually be like, oh, well, hey, he's pulling off the Demon Finn this time, so he's gonna win, or, oh, his chances are better this time because he's the Demon Finn. But, like I said, if he goes ahead and loses at SummerSlam as the Demon Finn, then the new guys, or the people that are watching it and haven't seen him before, are going to be like, what's the difference? He lost there, and actually, hey, looks like he's weaker as the Demon Finn because he beat Roman Reigns as normal Finn. He won that Fatal 4-Way as normal Finn, but then comes SummerSlam as Demon Finn, he goes ahead and loses. It just messes it up. It's not as strong anymore, which is why I think there's no way they're going to have him lose his first match as the Demon on the main roster. That's pretty much it, guys. Those are my 5 reasons as to why I think Finn is walking out the first Universal Champion on Raw. And hey, in the comment section, guys, let me know who you think is going to win and give me the reason why. I know in my prediction game videos I already asked you guys who you think is going to win, but this time I actually want you guys to give me a couple of reasons. I gave you guys 5 reasons why I think Finn Balor's walking out the new champion. Give me a couple of reasons why you think he's going to win, or why you think Seth Rollins is going to win. Maybe you convince me that Seth Rollins is going to win. And if you guys enjoyed this video, this new way of going about giving you guys details and reasons as to why I think a certain person is going to win a match, click that like button down below. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, with that said, I'm out. See ya.